Okay, we are going to start our second flipped classroom video for science fiction, where we'll be looking at The Veldt, another story by Ray Bradbury, and we will also be looking at more aspects of setting and more of the roles that setting can play in stories. So, in our last PowerPoint, we saw that setting helps build background and creates images in the mind, and we also talked about how setting can be a character in a story. So the house in There Will Come Soft Rains was the setting, and it was also the character. So I mentioned in the last PowerPoint that setting can set the tone or the mood for the story, and what we're going to look a little more closely at is how setting can create the mood or the feeling that the reader gets from reading the words. So what do you feel when you read? That's the mood. So when we're looking at setting, we see that it can build tension. If you think about what tension is, it's having suspense. And when we think about There Will Come Soft Rains, the setting did build tension when the tree crashed through the window and it set the house on fire. That was a very suspenseful part of the story. So we're going to look at another example where setting builds tension, and that's in the movie Gravity. So we'll look at a little bit of the trailer here. I'm starting.
Explorer's been hit. Explorer, do you read? Explorer, over, explore. Astronaut is off structure. Dr. Stone is off structure. Dr. Stone is intact. Must see Pat. Don't detach that arm's going to carry you too far. Listen to my voice. You need to focus. I'm losing visual of you. In a few seconds, I won't be able to track you. You need to detach. I can't see you anymore. Do it now.
So that movie is set in space, and basically the movie is about a work accident. So if there was a work accident sent in the school, it wouldn't be as suspenseful. Like if I fell down the stairs within the setting of the school, it would not be as suspenseful if I had the same type of accident in space. So the setting of space in the movie Gravity helps build tension and helps build the suspense. We know as understanding of space that when a person starts a trajectory or traveling in space, that they don't stop unless they are stopped. And so that's why it's a lot of suspense. Another thing that setting can do is influence characters. So thinking about There Will Come Soft Rains, the setting influences the characters when the house is set on fire. If you remember when it's set on fire, the setting or the character reacts in a way that it kind of freaks out or goes into a frenzy in trying to put out the fire. So another good example of setting influencing characters is in the movie 127 Hours. So if you haven't seen or heard of 127 Hours, it's a movie about a guy who rock climbs. And when he goes rock climbing, because he does it so often, he doesn't call his family or his friends to let him know when he's going out. And so when he's out one time, he gets trapped. A rock crushes his hand and he is stuck. So we'll watch a little bit of the trailer so that you can see how the setting is influencing the main character.
Good morning, everyone. It is 7 o'clock here in Canyonland, USA.
Hey, Aaron. Mom still has not heard from you. Will you just call her, please? I'll talk to you soon.
And this morning, on the boulder, we have a very special guest, Aaron Ralston!
Oh, gosh, it's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey,
You lost? I'm a guide. What do you say? See, I'm something of a big hard hero.
All you have to remember is that everything will be okay. Come on! Gotta come down here!
It's been nice knowing you, Ed.
I can do everything on my own.
See ya!
Bye. I don't think we figured in his day at all.
Hey there, Aaron. Is it true? You didn't tell anyone where you were going. Oops. This marks 24 hours of being stuck. Been chipping away. Want to keep going anything? I have about 150 milliliters of water left, which should keep me alive till tomorrow night, if I'm lucky. So that's it. Mom, Dad, I haven't appreciated you as I know that I could.
Okay, so in this video, we can see that the setting does influence him because it traps him. And the heat and the humidity of the desert also dehydrates him. So those two parts of the setting influence his final decision, which I won't say what it is, in case you do want to watch this movie someday. So it does influence his decision as a character. So setting can also create mood, and a really good example of this is in Twilight. Even though it's not a very good movie in my opinion, and I don't really like the books that much, the director did a really good job creating mood with the setting. So when Bella is first trying to figure out what Edward is, why is he different, what's wrong with his family, she's moving to this new town, everything seems weird and different. The setting is always gloomy. It's foggy, it's rainy, it's not bright and sunny. So when it's foggy and rainy, it gives you this feeling of being eerie, of being mysterious. So it creates that mood. And lastly, what we're going to look at is that setting can help convey theme. So if we look, or when we look at what theme is the message that the author is trying to convey. It's the main idea of the story, of the work. So when we look at There Will Come Soft Rains, some of the themes that you may pick out of that story is that, so, like if you think about what's happening in the story, man creates all this technology and then there's a bomb and it destroys everything. So you could maybe pick out the idea that technology is something that man should be careful with. Yes, we have the capability of creating things, but should we? You could also maybe pick out the idea or the main message that the author is saying, that eventually, if man keeps creating, he will destroy himself. So that's kind of an idea that's in there. You might also be thinking about the fact that even after man is gone, nature and the world will still go on without us. Those are all three ideas that are kind of present in There Will Come Soft Rains. You could argue all three of those. Theme does not have to be one major thing. Oftentimes, there are many themes within a story or within a major work, especially with larger works, with novels, with plays. There are often many themes. So these are the main ideas that we're going to be looking at when we read the Veldt, how setting can build tension, influence characters, create mood, and convey theme. So make sure that you understand those. If you have questions, please make sure to ask me before we start class. And when we're doing literature circles, I'll be around to help. Make sure you have your notes done, and those can be turned in Schoology. So, thanks.